2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Quest and Chaos. I hope that my audio is working. We're the Chaos Agents.
Mostly.
And tonight, 4 of us are going to play Dungeons and Dragons. One of us is not.
Does the DM actually play?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be fun for you too, or else,
Otherwise, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
I love playing, but I enjoy DMing for you fine folks.
That's
Aaron's not.
That's the stuff that players say to keep you DMing. Oh, it's so great! I love it. No, you got to keep doing it because of course, you got to have fun. Like you're having so much fun, aren't you? Having fun? Thomas can't wait to end this arc. He wants to kill us all today.
That is correct.
Well, yeah, but then we get to launch into the new campaign. He doesn't get to come in and be a player. It's not like Warren's going to take over for DMing the Chaos Agents. He'll still be the DM.
Shortest campaign ever. That would be a mistake.
I'm really excited for campaign
as you may have noticed, we'll just we'll deal with the obvious up front. Aaron is not joining us this evening. He yes, as Amy says in the chat, he is routerless. There's a router missing. So
router down.
So there's no internet, and that's and you know what? When Tiana doesn't have internet, she goes and sits outside Duke Lee's house.
I'm not. Right? I'm not going to hold anyone to that standard when the air is basically unbreathable, though.
Yeah, it sounded like Thomas was holding him to that standard, actually.
Well, I didn't even see the email that he wasn't going to be here, so that was a surprise. It apparently went into my spam folder.
That's what happened.
All right, so
he just has all of
I'll make sure he knows that, by the way.
So we are going to jump through announcements very quickly because we're going to try and do that from now on. That's a thing we're going to try and do. It is September, which means that the more you subscribe, the more of a discount you get, and we get the same amount. There it is. That's awesome. Done and done.
That's brilliant.
We also got our Libris Arcana Perseid dice in. So we're going to do this dice giveaway. Actually, they kind of are nice in the light.
See? I love them. I love the Perseid dice. They're really pretty.
So we're going to do this dice giveaway tonight. And then I almost did that. I was like, and then this set of dice we're also going to give away. But we have 2 sets of them because for some reason I decided to get 2 subscriptions to it.
Cool.
Mostly
so that we could give away more.
Actually, because some of them are really cool and I don't want to give them away.
That's fair.
Some of them are not my style, so I'm going to give those away. They did throw in this random orange one, and I have come to realize I like orange dice.
So you love the Arcana dice?
Yes. And maybe no, I don't like this.
They're orange dice. You just
yeah, but you know what? We've got a set of those around here too. We should give away at some point as well. Because so I had the oh god, let's no stories. Anyway, so I had a set of dice that was worth way too much money.
Oh, I remember those.
And I bought a D&D book with that money. Anyway, that was just dumb on my part because the dice were smaller and probably, easier to keep up and keep its value. I don't know, whatever. So we're doing stuff tonight. I don't know what it is.
That's the running story anyway.
Other announcements. Nord Games is a wonderful partner. We have an affiliate program with them. When you purchase stuff using our link, you get a discount when you use Chaotic 20% off. I mean, that's pretty crazy. And then we actually get not really a kickback, it's a referral fee, right? So we get a percentage of any purchase that you make. And that helps supplement everything else to keep us going. And we appreciate it when you purchase Nord Game stuff. One thing we don't get a cut of, but is awesome, is they have miniatures that launched today. I watched a good portion of their like 2-hour, 2.5-hour live stream.
Wow.
They're so if you do ! Kickstarter in the chat, somebody do that so I can click on the link when it shows up. Also means I have to spell it correctly.
Right.
If you go to it, you can see that they are at $30,000 on day one. We are
astonishing.
We are not even 12 hours into this campaign, 30 days to go of their $75,000 goal. Miniatures are a big deal. And these are pretty awesome looking. They are from the Ultimate Bestiary, Revenge of the Horde. So you get your Boblin Bomber, your Goblin Bomber, your Archer. There's a couple in there. I'm like, that is not going to print. They're gonna have to adjust the sculpt on that. So I'm like, yeah, that Archer is not going to print.
Wait,
anyway.
Is it way too detailed?
It's got big, thin pieces.
Oh,
they have a string. I'm like, no, nope. Maybe. I bet they have prototypes of all of them. So maybe their partners could, their manufacturing partners can do it. But on Warren's Elegoo Mars, it would take some work to actually get it to print, I think. I am drinking out of Amy's mug. Actually has
did she just call you out in the chat?
it's Amy's character on the back of it. I've been drinking out of this all week, so that's kind of. And this, was made by Mike at Berkeley Stamping and Engraving.
Yeah.
Always a good friend.
Mike just had a baby.
Yeah.
Congrats, Mike.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
boy.
man.
Baby.
This was supposed to go smoothly.
I was about to say, what happened to fast announcements?
Yeah, birds! ! Birds, Birds of Paradise are amazing dice, and Oriole, if they decide to make those, would be pretty rad. But or actually, probably Toucan, maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, it might be good. Might be a good one.
This is one of the early prototypes for Magpie. I've been seeing the pictures that she's been putting up in the Discord. Gorgeous! I'm so excited.
Yeah. Really looking forward to a completely non-related October surprise. All right, so moving on. I definitely should have talked to someone else earlier. Anyway.
What?
Yeah. Just trying to be surprise and delight. As I said before, that's my motto in life.
Oh, it's so good to be back with you guys. I missed y'all last week.
Yeah, I want to be in person. This is ridiculous. But anyway,
agreed.
It is 13 minutes after, so I have 2 more minutes to vamp before we're into OT. Does anybody have anything else to share?
You started at 7:05. You were ahead of the curve here.
You're doing well.
You're flying. You are flying.
Perfect. So
Also,
go ahead, Tiana.
Well, we weren't here last week, so happy 2-year anniversary, guys.
That's right. This is
2 years.
Episode 84. So clearly we are missing some episodes in there.
Well,
2 years.
There were the 3 episodes of Cthulhu in Space. There were the episodes where it was Salt Marsh instead of Chaos Agents. There were the 2 holiday breaks that we've taken in there.
We're missing half of a year.
Here's
6 months worth of stuff, right? We should be at episode 104.
We got to do some fun stuff, and that's for damn sure.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All worth it, though.
Mm-hmm.
All worth it, no matter where we are.
All right.
And thank you guys who have been with us so long as well, of course. So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And that's just Chaos Agents. We started we did 20 episodes of Solaria. So that was that's 20 weeks. Yeah. I mean, we've been doing this for 2.5 years. That's a lot. And we still don't know how to open a show. So let us
True.
let us move on to the bits before we get to the recap. We are starting off with the Hefner with 1,000 bits to the players.
Hey.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you.
because the Hefner is amazing, 1,000 bits to the DM.
There it is.
As well to
God.
balance.
Right. We get advantage, but so does the DM.
Take that, podcast reviewer. A common theme on the podcast is it's kind of fun, but they have advantage on every single roll, which admittedly early on, there was a period in there where almost every roll during a game did have advantage. So that's when we went to the new, like, maybe one of them is a D6 and not a full reroll. So.
And I mean, the thing about that is that just because we have advantage doesn't mean we're going to roll better. There are terms that we have for rolling worse with advantage.
That's true. So one of the things that I would love to ask you guys in the Discord is, what do you think of? We seem to ask this a lot. What do you think of the inspiration? If we launched a new show without it, how would you feel? Would that be terrible? Would you feel less invested? Because now, I mean, you guys were not doing.
They've saved
well.
our life a few times.
Yeah, at the end of last night's episode, and Duke League came in there with 1,000 bits to help you guys out.
And it was so very needed. And it still comes down to the wire. You still do a very good job of challenging us. It's very difficult still.
That's turning that dial to 11 to try and.
One reviewer. I don't want to, on the off chance that reviewer might hear this, but just it's one person.
Hey, your fun is wrong, Warren. Okay.
Stop doing things I don't like.
Well, and the balance issue was something that I know all of the DMs at Quest and Chaos have had to think about is, how do you balance an encounter for inspiration and dealing with that situation? I think all of the DMs at Quest and Chaos, and I'll happily include myself in that number, I think we handle it pretty damn well because we know when to dial it up because it's not quite difficult enough, and turn it down because, oh my God, they're getting their asses kicked.
Yeah. See, guys, we think we're great.
We think we're fantastic.
That's literally all that matters.
So I have to correct myself because I'm wrong a lot. The Hefner only gave us 500 bits each, and I said 1,000. So then he jumped back in to another 500 bits each to make it the 1,000 that I said. So the Hefner donated. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you, Hef.
Thank you, Hefner. We appreciate it. Amazing moderator, as well as the Baroness is another amazing moderator. My two favorite moderators. Warren's up there too. He's technically has access to moderate.
I just come in and shadow ban people randomly, Keeping that.
And then I have to point out, we're 2.5 years into this enterprise, and Amy has subscribed for 18 months now. So thank you, Amy, for remembering.
2.5 years, you say? 2.5 years.
Yeah. 18 months, 2.5 years. So you're telling me there's a chance. All right. God. Uzo.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry. I totally missed one. Of Three Kingdoms with 500 bits to the players.
Thank you.
Thank you, of Three Kingdoms. We're thinking about you and wishing you the best. So thank you. If you guys want to, you should join our Discord because our Discord is cool. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you should subscribe. And if you're on Twitch, you should follow us. And it's also September stuff. And our hot Instagram profiles just, whew, it's there sometimes. Uzo, last session, you left the residence of one Mr. Flynn and went to go shopping for a present for Remy's child, Remy.
Yeah.
Tell us about what happened last session from Uzo's perspective.
From Muzo's perspective. Oh man. Okay. So is this
This is the homework that
kind
you've
of like
done.
How I Met Your Mother, where he doesn't sound anything like the voice in his head? Okay. So walking through the market, looking for a gift for young Remy, we encountered a booth of puppeteering, which I had never seen before, and was completely engrossed by. So I did the only logical thing I could do was I bought as many as I could because I know that the children of the orphanage would be thoroughly tickled by them. Additionally, they had puppets of Remy size, lifelike stuffing dolls that probably would give him a go for his money. So I figured that we could buy one for his son and give it to him in our likeness so that the child can always have something to remember his aunts and uncles by once we depart for the seas, in search of my patron. Um, I may have gone overboard with the custom orders, but what these gifts will give back in return will outlive any monetary gain that we have by keeping these riches. Um, I think he will enjoy them, but maybe it's just my own personal bias that I will enjoy these puppets more than the children at the orphanage. So it's a gift to myself. Yes. But we got them. One of the puppets had a breastplate that looks like it would fit his son. That in conjunction with the wooden sword and the hat that Remy plans to give him, would make him feel like a true warrior. True warrior. Um, and I think that in the time that we plan to spend here to give him an opportunity to learn and grow with his child, before we embark on our adventure, because it's not entirely a given that Remy will be coming with us. I really hope that he does, because honestly, as confident as I am in my abilities, I need every one of the Foxy irregulars beside me, because what we are venturing into is completely unknown. So thankfully, in the direction we are going, at the tavern we are going, this insulting little dwarf, cleric of some kind, um, will be meeting us to give me more information on the whereabouts of my patron. And at that point, we will disperse the gifts to Remy and Remy's son. I wish I can. I hope I get to see the child's face when he receives them. But that is for his father to divvy out. I just hope that this is enough to remember Uncle Uzo by.
Very nice.
Okay.
Andraste, tell me about last episode.
Well, last time we did leave Flint's house. I've been keeping rather a close eye on Ruckus since his he found his vengeance, and I don't think it tasted as sweet as he wanted it to be. And I am concerned about his mental state after all of that. So we stopped off at the puppet shop. They were I have not seen workmanship like that before. It was fun and enjoyable. I think the funnest part was watching Uzo act like a child in there. It was precious in a way that I've not seen before. And then we were set upon by some ruffians of Baldur's Gate, who told Remy that they had the boots of speed that he wanted, and it was rather a one-sided fight for the majority of it. I was tired and not in a mood to deal with them, so we dealt with them. And then returned to the tavern where Winifred was sleeping on a bench, I believe. And Remy and she spoke briefly before she went up to bed, and now I believe that we are about to go and speak to the dwarf cleric that will give us more information about Uzo's patron and launch us into a new direction of this adventure.
Very nice. Remy, what stood out for you the most? And
You're not gonna just ask me to like go through everything
What-
because I was sitting here planning things. I was like, oh,
no, okay.
it's gonna take 30 minutes.
No, I mean, what is your
Don't take 30
perspective?
minute, mate.
Okay. Sorry, what?
What was Remy's perspective on what happened last session?
Well, the morning started. No, let's go further back. I'm just kidding. The morning started. And I felt quicker. I felt imbued with power, and I thought to test myself against Uzo. And it kind of got me a little bit in my pride that he got me. He got the better of me that time. But I rather liked it because it meant he is powerful, and it means a lot to me to have someone so close to me that can best me at my side. And then he surprised me by going with me to the market and getting so many toys. He really threw himself into it, buying all sorts of mannequins, marionettes, excuse me. I saw them and I didn't quite understand because, these marionette puppets were about the size of little Remy. I don't know how Remy is meant to manipulate them, you see. But his heart was in the best of places, and, he'll grow into them. And I saw one puppet in particular that he wanted to get for Remy, and that was one with a breastplate of armor. It really it meant a lot. Going from there, thinking maybe I'll get little Remy a sword to remember me by, and then remembering he already had one. But by that time, Ruckus had heard me say it, so Ruckus was all about the wooden swords and wanted to find a little flamberge toy sword for himself. I did not realize it at the time. Of course, I thought he meant for Remy, and I was like, well, I guess 2 swords is fine if one's a flamberge. And then no, Ruckus wanted one for himself, so he ended up buying 2 because he's a good person. And despite everything else, Ruckus is a good person at heart. He's even killing again. That's great.
Lasted a few hours.
It lasted a full half day. That's pretty impressive.
So I'm back to being good old Ruckus. And so we got an extra sword, and I was feeling a bit nervous about this all, and it was really nice to have so many people at my side on Droste and Ruckus and Uzo that I could face it. And so we went. There was that nasty business out there with the boots of speed. I really must work on my avarice, but it ended well for us, well enough. We came back. Unfortunately, I was covered with some blood and some holes in my clothes. Uzo was able to get rid of all the blood stains with a cantrip, so that was nice. I had to scrunch in a small little bowl for it, though. But Winifred noticed anyway when I came through. She was sleeping there had waited for me to come back, and I nearly didn't. So she told me that she wants to stay with me and be with me and go with me on our adventures, and it's hard because it's hell, literally. How can I in good conscience take her in there to face a devil lord, a god? Is that being a good father? And then on the other hand, do I go? If I go, do they give up on me? Do they quit? Because that's what Remy does. That's what Slade Remington does. He splits. He goes towards adventure. How can I leave them? How can I take them? At the very least, my son has a good set of armor.
Wow. And with that, we're going to launch into this episode 84, The Truth About Dendar. But first, a correction from earlier, because when we have a teleprompter, I read whatever is on it. Don't F yourself, San Diego. And Three Fingers 60 provided the inspiration for you guys. So I'm just going to add another one to that. Plus the 4 that you have earlier, you should have 8.
8 is what
And
I
I
have.
have 2. So thank you, Three Fingers 60. I miss having the teleprompter. And even if we were, oh man, I'm using it somewhere else. Okay. Thank you guys. That was I think a wonderful recap and some insight into what had happened that we may not have gotten without that. So as Winifred turns and goes up the stairs with the one last look, and then actually, did you walk her? You walked her
I
up
did
to the
accompany
room?
her, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Came
she
back
went
down.
inside to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You come back down, and Uzo, you, Andraste, are you joining Uzo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the 3 of you, Ruckus, Andraste, and Uzo, approach the dwarf who is sitting. There are 2 tankards of ale in front of him, and he sort of gestures over to the barkeep and gives and actually just like
Just bring a pitcher.
Barrel, bring a barrel. Uzo, I'm sorry, hold on. What is that? What does Northern England sound like? It sounds like
I was just listening to it for an hour today, and I still couldn't tell you. It's the very a lot of
I think
planets.
their A's are pronounced like American A's, actually, in Northern England.
I call them Scottish anyway. So, all right, you sit down at the table.
There you
Not if
Uzo,
you're going for
please.
Livermore.
Talk to your regulars. Please join me. And if you guys sit down, Remy, that is what you walked out to. The 3 of them sitting at the table with this dwarf.
go. Do I see any large drinks over there?
There is, in fact, a bartender walking over with several drinks at the moment and setting them on the table. There is an open seat there as well.
I will come up kind of slowly. kind of take my place there, look at everyone, and go, sorry.
No need to apologize.
Yeah,
So
well, we cannot start without you.
clearly you've started drinking without us. The Lush calls me a psychopath. We all have our vices, sir. But until I know you a little better, I will refrain from drinking with you. Please tell me what this means to you. And Uzo pulls up the amulet and shows it from behind his cloak.
It is the symbol of Bahamut.
You can say his name.
Aye.
Interesting.
Aye. It is. There are only a few that are not allowed to.
Why are people not allowed to speak this one's name?
To tell you that, I got to tell you the story of what happened. If you've
Well,
got the time.
It looks like we have sufficient drinks to at least begin the story.
I'm looking at
Very
the barkeep and I'm like, no, two more.
Let's hear the story, because I feel like this is at the core of everything that we have been doing, and the more information that we have, the better chance we have of surviving what is to come.
Right. I was once a cleric of Behemoth. I come from a town called Port Thoria on the continent of Darlan. It is on the eastern shore, some 50 miles from the Shimmering. It's, I'm not a cleric anymore. My powers were cut when Behemoth was imprisoned. But why was he imprisoned? It was, since I've been on this continent, I have picked up something called a Jensen's disease.
Never heard of it.
It's very prevalent. It's kind of all over the place at this point. Terribly
Yes.
sorry.
Believe
Spreads through the
it's
air.
famous. Yeah. Trying to think of the best way to say this. So, nearly 80 years ago, a cult called the Cult of the Dragon began a new focus. They used to worship undead dragons and work to raise them as their undead servants. And then, for some reason, we believe the will of Tiamat herself was involved. She appointed someone, one of her high priests, or not. They didn't really have the clerical abilities, but they were priests, and eventually they did when she became powerful enough. Dragon masks. Sorry, I get confused. So dragon masks allow someone to communicate and talk and at some point control dragons. And when all of those dragon masks are brought together and a ritual is done, you can summon Tiamat from Avernus to Faerun or Darlin or any of the other planes that you are on. It was here that this was done. There was a group of adventurers. They were working alongside different factions. The Emerald Enclave, as he gestures to your symbol, to the Harpers, even the Zentarum were part of this. All fighting against the Tiamat. Council of Waterdeep, or that's a council was summoned. They called themselves the Council of Waterdeep, and they tried to thwart it. And every turn, the cult was one step ahead of them, until they went to a volcano on the northern end of the Sunset Mountains called the Well of Dragons.
Well of Dragons.
Well of Dragons. These adventurers, Sifa Forge Braid, High Lady of the Dwarven People, Ura Shadowstalker, a orc chosen by the orcish gods in a flame of grumsh. Firzath, Githerzarai monk, I can't even say it.
Githzerai.
Githerzarai monk. Lillian, the Centaurum contract, and you know everything is for money sometimes. And then there was Annika Silverflame. They all died a horrible, brutal death in the Well of Dragons.
You fuck! I'm sorry. That's my party! I'm Annika!
Sorry. Reach out to Spike to get some, because you guys have been through the Tyranny of Dragoness campaign, which that sort of was a very odd and short recap.
Sorry, I'm getting all emotional over here. Lillian Iliotrope is the name she ended up taking.
Yes, Annika was a strange one. 2 people, in fact. Very odd.
Yep.
They fought well, but they died. And Tiamat, at that point, was summoned to the material plane. And Behemoth stepped in, appealed to the other gods, and asked if there was any way to interfere. And after council, the gods all agreed both could be imprisoned back where they belong. Well, she would be imprisoned back, and Behemoth would be imprisoned somewhere else. It wasn't long, however, before Tiamat had discovered that there are other ways to influence people. She found she could become a patron, that there are those that call themselves warlocks. She had the power to reach out to them, to grant them gifts. And once Behemoth had discovered this ability, he chose to do the same. Behemoth began seeking his own warlocks. Several of them did not fare well very early on. 2 of them found the deed.
Uzo puts his hand on his chest.
Yeah. One of them had great promise, making it all the way to Mage Haven. But Kumara was an asshole.
Just turn to look at Remy.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Kumara is an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Is what do you mean is?
I'm talking to Kumara now, and I'm just like, I will gut him. He means nothing to me. You give the word. I will reacquaint you most intimately.
It was eventually his undoing, as he drunkenly picked a bar fight with a mage by the name of Ratigan, who put him into a sword.
Are you fucking kidding me? I say to Kumara, who has yet to answer me.
You say that out loud?
No.
Uzo, you've come farther than anyone else, than any other before you. You have found those that help you become a better person, become a better fighter, a better strategist. It is you who must travel to Darlin to Mage Haven and use the deed to free Behemoth.
Am I to believe that Tiamat also has capable people on her side looking to free her as well?
Aye. There are warlocks out there. Several of ours were killed by theirs.
The part of the
If-
story I haven't heard yet.
If we have a joint endeavor, I believe that freeing Behemoth would also free Tiamat. Is that accurate?
Aye. That
And
is
vice
the plan.
versa.
So that does not necessarily make them our enemies yet. We might be able to leverage them to help us lift this heavy burden and deal with the consequences after both are free.
And from what Behemoth has told me, Asmodeus is ready to scoop her up and replace Mammon. There is more power in running a level of hell than there is in being trapped in one. We believe that she will take the opportunity.
But she will be free. She will not be bound to that level. She will be the ruler of that level. Is that what I'm
Who
hearing?
will be free? Tiamat
Tiamat.
will take that level.
If Tiamat takes the level, she will be stuck there.
We destroy Mammon and turn rulership of that level of hell over to Tiamat. Yes?
Yeah.
May I? What about Behemoth? He is just freed, and that is that, and his sister has to stay in hell. That won't foster any resentment.
That may be a bridge that we have to cross when we come to it.
The agreement I have with Behemoth is only to free him. After he is free, he is on the neutral side of any blade, just like anybody else. Let his actions define him afterwards.
I would suggest you visit the library sometime.
What
It
library?
seems any library. I have yet to see any of you visit a library anywhere at any time.
Have you been watching us?
I have for a while. Sometimes I get updates.
What
My
Mara and
entire
I do. Oh, sorry.
room is a library, sir. All I have done is learn about the natural world since I was given the gift to read any text and to see on top of that. Thank you to Behemoth. So forgive me for not being up to speed on world events, but until now, my entire motive has been survival.
Behemoth is the god of justice. You are a person of justice. Granted, sometimes your execution is a bit harsh, but
Ooh, poor choice of words, sir.
Accurate,
But,
though.
Justice is justice.
when Behemoth was free to roam, he often took the guise of a beggar in dirty robes, wandering the streets.
Imagine there is no truer way to understand a society than to see how they treat their lowest.
That's what I've been saying for a long time.
think
Not
you mean
height wise.
I thought
Oh.
you meant height with that. Yes, not. Yeah.
Yes.
Then I ask you another question. What is Medusa's role in this search for freeing Behemoth? Do you know
She
her?
was. I do. She's the one who. And at this point, he looks you over, and like kind of looking in your robes, and he says, "Bagamet," and Baga kind of looks out from your robe. He is the one who protected and hid Bagamet, Bahamut's son.
What? That's crazy.
And just like Baga kind of looks at you and clicks your tongue, and like in your mind you hear, she helped. Like there's a moment of realization at that moment that when you think that you were assigning words to Baga's actions, might have actually been words speaking to you
Oh.
from the beginning. And then you think back to your teenage years, and anyway, moving on.
There is mercy.
So you finding me, little one, was not entirely a dream nor an accident.
I imagine, Uzo, that if we were to look back over your life, there would be very few things that would be coincidence.
I don't know if I am reinforced by that idea or enraged by it, Androste.
I cannot say one way or the other. It is a neutral statement.
Meaning that if someone was watching my life like you claim to have watched the library and our inability to visit one, then they've seen all the near-death experiences, all the suffering, all of the acts that we had to do to get to this point without influence. Not standing in any judgment of them yet, but it's not exactly reassuring either.
Not seen everything. I've not been on the oceans. I've had my own path. I've been watching others. I only started watching you and seeing you months ago, after you had met each other.
What do you think of the tavern? Hmm?
The octopus and cheese is very, very fine.
Rachel is amazing, isn't she?
You say that the deed is the key. It looks like a parchment to me, a wine-stained parchment. How does it work?
For you to pass the threshold, you must be holding the deed. We believe only one needs to hold it.
Is it one person in, one person out? Or can we all take our hand and grab it?
I think if you go together as a group, you can make it inside.
The binds that constrain the dragon, they have runes and magical items entrapping it. Will this defeat that? What exactly will be needed to be done to break those binds?
I
Just
don't
past
know
the
the answer.
threshold?
The deed gets you into the property. From there, I don't know. From what I understand, the last thing you must do is find the 4 elements and join them as one. Earth, air, wind, and fire.
And water, I assume.
Earth, air.
You said wind, yeah. Water, I guess.
Did I say fire?
You said air and wind.
Air and wind.
Earth,
Oh, yeah.
air, water, and fire.
Yes.
Oh.
Water, fire, earth, and air.
No, we need a lot of that air these days in California.
A little bit less of the fire, maybe.
Do you have a parchment or something token of theirs, Behemoth, that I can educate myself and read in our travels to maybe find clues about what exactly will be needed, since we are now venturing into uncharted waters?
Do you have a map?
We have one.
It does not show an eastern continent. However, it just shows the Sword Coast and some islands that I'm sure you are aware of now.
I thought Darylyn was on it, was it not?
The map that I have? I don't think so.
The map that we got from
Stace and Trace, I think so.
Oh, the one that you made. I don't have that one. I think you have that.
That's
we
on the
put it in the
ship.
bag of holding, right?
Did you?
I thought we did.
Maybe. We throw everything in there.
Check.
We had them chart like an exact replica of the map. So we do have it. It's just where.
Yeah, and I don't know if you entrusted that to me or if you held onto that yourself. I don't know. I don't remember.
So
I thought I would have left it on the ship, but I also could have just easily given it to you to put into the bag.
We could have taken it. Yeah, we could have taken it with us when we left the Phoenix limping along. We'll have to rewatch the episode.
It's been a while.
So
on the map,
do you want to have it in your bag of holding, or do you want to have it on the ship?
See, here, because I can't answer that. My question is, would Uzo have trusted Andraste with that?
It's a good question.
The bag of holding.
It's more of a question of did she ask for it? I would say
I don't think she knew about it to ask about it. So
we all knew about it. We discussed it. We talked about it.
I legitimately have no memory of this.
I want to say then for safekeeping, yes, he gave it to Andraste. He had it made for a copy and he entrusted it to Andraste, so it should be in the bag of holding.
Okay, that being the case, then I'll reach in and I will pull out the map and nudge a couple of tankards aside to spread it out on the table.
And he kind of reaches over and pulls out his own small little scholar's kit, and pulls a quill and dips it in and looks over the map, runs his finger along sort of the area to the west of the Kraken insignia, or drawing, if you will, and finds with his hands, then it's like, and his eyes closed, stops with his finger, and he draws an X in the ocean. There is the Shimmering. That will get you to Darylyn.
What is the Shimmering?
It is a gateway between worlds.
Oh.
Darylyn is not on this world. It is on another one. There are currently 4 gates to 4 different worlds off the coast of Port Thoria.
Wow. Another world.
Oh, That's unexpected.
With peoples that we have no idea who they are, what their culture is, anything about them, and how they react to outsiders. Do we even speak the same language?
I'm from Portoria.
Yes, well, you've been here for a while, I assume.
Aye.
Do they worship the same gods? I mean, I'm a cleric of Lyra. Am I going to have difficulties over there?
They do worship the same pantheon.
Oh, good.
The hells are the hells there. They are the hells here.
So it's a world.
Why, of all the gods of the old world to imitate, why would a being of justice choose to imitate Dendar to me?
That was not his choice.
Is it because
that I do not know the answer. All I know is that was not his choice. He would prefer, to be honest with you. Tiana, did you have something?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm just listening.
what
I know
in
this is a
your
lot to take.
you are seeing everything from our band. If you needed to make a wager, what would you place your money on in the success of this mission?
I would put all of my money, all of my soul, all of my everything into this. You made it further than anyone else before you. You and this group are capable beyond any that I have seen. I didn't see everything either. I saw some. As you cut to his mind flashback outside of that rundown residence as a body slams down in front of him. And you look out the window.
I don't notice him.
Oh my God. And you just he's just staring. But that's like in his mind, he goes to that.
He
If this
saw
were a
it.
movie, it would
He saw it.
cut to that. Just
That must have been very interesting for a cleric of a lawful good god.
Justice.
Justice comes
Lawful
in many
good.
forms. Justice comes in many forms.
That was out of character, mate.
Not for Uzo. What if shit, I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
So everyone give me intelligence checks.
Ew. Are you gonna roll for Ruckus?
Sure.
He says because she knows he has the highest.
Yes, that is exactly why I
Yeah.
say that.
But I'm rolling, and oof, did they must have tweaked the algorithm on roll 20.
I have been rolling like garbage on roll 20 the last couple of days.
A 3.
Yeah.
Oh my God. A 3, an 8, a 6. And
Do we
want
to? Who has the highest intelligence? That's
I mean,
plus
Ruckus.
2.
Ruckus, but
Yeah,
I rolled
that's
a
true.
2.
Do we want to re-inspire Ruckus roll? Yeah. I think
Do
so.
a full reroll?
Yeah.
Sure.
He is +4? No, he's +3.
He's player. No, he's plus
3.
higher than that.
+3.
Oh shit.
I
Okay.
think.
Well, at least he managed to get double digits, unlike all the rest of us.
Yeah, we're just engrossed by this story, I guess. We're
Yeah,
in trance.
yeah. You're just entranced.
Will you be joining us on this adventure?
I will not.
Why?
I am to stay here.
You are clearly capable and know a lot.
We
and
will
can be
need a
of
guide.
use.
Yes.
I have marked your map. Can't miss it. It's the only gate out there. Big, giant, shimmering portal.
No, it's about
Insight.
after that.
Uzo wants to insight check him, I guess, on like what he might be hiding. If I can.
Okay.
Unnatural 20.
Oh, now it
Okay.
rolls well.
All right. So you sense that he's not done here. And you know that from what you've gathered, he's sort of there to oversee warlocks.
He's finding so Uzo leans in and looks at him. So you would put all of your heart and soul in this wager. At the same time, you stay here to find a contingency plan. Is that what you are doing?
Aye.
I appreciate your honesty. This time.
It's a prudent move.
It is.
I do not think. I do not think there is a plan B. I think the stars, the gods, everything is aligning with you. Can you think of someone who is water, who is fire, who is earth, and who is air?
I am
Sir
none of
Hadmore.
those things. And he looks to Ruckus. What?
Did you not grow up in the streets, in the dirt, in the muck?
Yes, I did.
Water and fire are fairly obvious, I would say.
Spent quite a time on it. Actually,
And-
quite a bit of time.
And my power is based around fire. Air, however, is interesting to me. How is Ruckus air?
It's what's in his head.
Exactly. Took the words out of my mouth.
There's more to it than that.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. It could be completely metaphorical and I could be totally wrong.
Well, as we race towards our death, potentially. Just kidding, as he kind of nudges sarcastically. No, nobody. Okay. As we
Remy's
embark-
sitting there like,
As we embark on this adventure, is there any tips that you can bestow on us? Can we reach you? A blessing, a token of something,
somebody on the other side that we can contact.
a contact, something. How will we know what to do once we are through the gate and into Derelin?
Well,
Or Thoria.
What was
There will
that?
be a contact.
Repeat that.
There will be a contact waiting in Port Thoria.
Port Doherty.
There is still a cathedral there to Behemoth. It is. It still does the good work.
Well, for whatever it's worth, Uzo, I know the spell sending. That reaches across not just a world, but all of the planes.
It does.
It does. There's a chance that it might go awry going from plane to plane, but it's a low chance.
It will be useful to stay in communication with someone as knowledgeable as this person. Gerard, is it?
Gerard. I'm proud of you, Uzo.
You barely know me, sir.
Aye. But I've seen who you are. Having not seen any of the ocean stuff.
He's not the only one, Uzo.
He looks over to Remy. Yes.
You have
That,
always made an amazing addition to this team and an amazing first mate. And, well, not only proud of you, I'm proud to know you and to be your friend.
I can second that. I don't always agree with your methods, but I always believe that your heart is in the right place. And I stand with you. You are my
Thank
friend. You are part of my family.
that means a lot to me, Andraste. Ruckus, don't you say a word, as he kind of looks over to Ruckus. Keep your mouth shut. This is a tender moment.
I'm sure Ruckus is eating something and his mouth is
Yeah.
just occupied.
Probably.
Huh? Yeah, totally missed everything. She's like, what?
I'll tell you later, don't worry.
We're gonna have to give Aaron so much shit when he gets back next week.
We'll give you a recap.
No, I think Aaron knows as much as Ruckus, or Ruckus knows as much as Aaron. Just he didn't listen to anything. He was just like, oh, I didn't kill that guy enough. I should have killed him more.
On the journey, I know we don't have time to deviate. Well, we might, but if this is the end, not the end, I don't want to speak in such grim terms, but I would like to see Medusa one more time before we embark on the adventure, even if she is not to join us. I've literally been looking for this woman my entire life. And hopefully I can show her the man that you all claim to see.
She will meet you in Portoria at the cathedral.
Yeah, she's our contact.
She will not accompany you to Mage Haven, though. She will tell you where to go and help you decipher the location from the deed.
And perhaps give us some insight on what we're walking into.
And explain why it's called Mage Haven. Is there a problem with magic over there?
Very good point. Very good point. Uzo.
Uzo snaps back when you say that. He's been visibly like 1,000-yard trance. Yes.
I am very much impressed with the new attire.
Oh, huh. I forgot that I was wearing these threads. My friend Andros, picked these out for us.
The robes on Darylin, probably not a good idea.
Oh.
Do they have issue with
It's-
magic users in Darlin?
Less today, but hatred goes back a century.
Well, within my lifetime.
Perhaps, actually, let me back that up. Hatred goes back. I just wrote this, and by just, it was like a month ago. And I've been changing the timeline because I want Mage Haven to be old, but yet, so
But everything's still.
Mage Haven is 100 years old, so it goes back over a century.
At least 101 years.
What did Amy say that one time?
You're gonna have to narrow that down.
No, it was literally about like, I think Donald said, Togas said it's over a century, and Amy goes, no, it's over 100 years ago.
I remember that. Yeah.
Something like that. You have made it far. I'm going to take a quick little bit break, if you will, because Squeal the Bard has given 1,000 bits to the players. Thank you so much, Ben.
So much.
We appreciate
Ben.
it. And 500 bits to the DM.
You had to
Slightly
go
less
and fuck it up,
appreciative.
man.
I think he understands the DM role a little bit better now that he's running his own campaign.
Nice. All right.
What
other
would you
questions?
What would you advise to be the next leg of our adventure? Where do we go from here? Clearly, we don't make straight for the Shimmering.
And is there a time limit on this?
I do not know of a time limit.
Then we don't need to be in a rush. That's good.
That means we can get the Phoenix repaired,
Yes.
perhaps.
I would far rather take the Phoenix
Agreed.
on the adventure.
And where will that be, Mr. Gerard?
You go to Portoria. You meet Medusa. You most likely travel overland from there. You could sail around the south, I suppose. Be longer in the long run, though.
I think it's best to take our time. Make sure we are prepared for whatever we walk into.
And perhaps
But-
visit a library or two.
To increase our learnings.
Hmm.
But no matter when we embark, Portlandia, Porthoria, Porthoria is our next adventure.
Yes.
Is there anything that we have neglected to inquire about or that we should know?
As he kind of puts his hand back over the map. That's Krakenson. Shouldn't be a problem.
The what?
Is there a real Kraken?
Yeah.
Those things are real?
I think the Kraken is real. So I've been told.
There is mercy.
No big deal. Minor details, eh?
It may be there, it may not be. Oh my god. That is what started the whole thing in the first place. That's why everyone hates mages.
Did a mage call in the Kraken?
There were a group of mages developed 5 gates. They led to 5 different worlds, this being one of them. Others were not so far out at sea. So trade went back and forth easily between them. The ruler of Port Thoria at the time confiscated the gates. In fact, the whole kingdom of Thoria, the larger kingdom, confiscated the gates and imprisoned the mages. They eventually secured their freedom or escaped and built another gate to the south. That gate went to a very bad place. The Kraken came through, the dragons came through. There was a lot of waste laid across Darylin before peace, or at least mostly peace, was attained. From what I understand, the Kraken still lives and travels between the worlds. The gates go, for some reason, to the bottom of the ocean.
I'm sorry. So we go on our ship, and you say that this gate will take us to the bottom of the ocean.
No. The gates go from like 50 feet above the ocean all the way to the bottom.
Oh, got it. It's
I
a
don't
very
know.
large
It
gate.
seems terrible design. Many
Large enough
creatures come through.
to fit a Kraken and a few dragons through. It must be a massive gate.
Oh.
I think the library is very wise. I feel an urge to bolster all of the tales I've heard of Krakens with some actual learnings. This is not. It is an adventure. As Uzo has like nervous laughter.
And I'll take the map and roll it back up now that the ink is dry and slip it back into the bag of holding.
And I join in the nervous laughter as well.
I have not been to Baldur's Gate prior to a couple of days ago. Is there a library that would have the sorts of information that we are seeking? Or would we be better served going back to Waterdeep and availing ourselves of that source of information?
There is a library. There is also the High House of Gond, which would have information. They have it's mostly inventions, but they have knowledge there as well.
The Temple of Gond makes the Nimborites. Is that accurate? Or they do in on our
They
continent.
make many contraptions.
Will our adventure take us past Waterdeep? On the map, will we pass by the port of Waterdeep?
No. So you know the map. You need to travel basically west to Saltmarsh, and then from Saltmarsh you do go northwest to get to the area marked on the map. You will eventually make your latitude higher than Waterdeep, but you'll be way off course.
Okay.
That said, there isn't a rush. There's nothing to say that we can't go back to Waterdeep if we need to.
I have a very impending sense of making sure that things are okay back in Waterdeep before we venture out. I won't do that if I'm the only one who feels that way.
No, you're right. We should put our affairs in order.
I knew, as he looks at Remy, I knew you would understand my meaning.
Yes. We should do that.
I don't have strong feelings one way or the other. My affairs are fairly much in order as it stands. But
I feel my memory is escaping me. The greatest library in all of the land is just south of here.
oh,
And it is called Candlekeep.
I've heard stories of Candlekeep. I've never been.
Thank you, Spike.
I was wondering if you were going to. Yes. Thank you, Spike.
Okay, well, I think a stop off at Candlekeep, provided it is not as harsh as Boulder's Gate, would be very wise.
It'll be a little
There
out of
is-
our way if it's south, but not badly.
It'll take you maybe a week to get there, but there is one trick. It is the greatest library in the realms. You only gain entry by bringing a book that they do not have in their collection.
Well, I happen to have a book in my bag that is newly enough published that I don't think it would have made it to them yet.
Interesting.
Do you think it would carry that the greatest library would?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Most-
Ross, they would not want that. What they do want is the book that I am having commissioned by the elves, and it
promise
sings
you.
the tales of the
I
Foxy
promise you.
Irregulars.
You're right. We should go back there first.
I promise you they don't want that one.
No,
No.
On to Daggerford.
Well, we just found our next 5 months.
what were we supposed to do again? I don't. Yeah. Oh, this was a lot to digest, but I am appreciative of your time, Stonebreaker. I think I need to rest on this and at least understand in the short term where do we go from here, but what I say to Medusa when I see her. Thank you for your help with this.
She had a similar role to mine in finding those individuals.
I hope I don't let her down.
Not like Kumara did to me. Very well. I am going to retire for the evening. I was here waiting early, very early, so
Thank you.
There's a
Mm.
nod.
Did you happen to speak to that halfling who was there today?
the one that was sleeping.
Yes.
We had a
Yeah.
brief chat.
Yeah. What'd you make of her?
She is capable for one. I saw her earlier throw someone out at sword point. She is angry and happy. It is It is a very odd emotions. She was crying and laughing, and
You didn't tell her that you had seen me, did you?
no.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Is she someone? Do you know her?
Why would I know her? That makes no sense. What do you think? Because we're both halflings?
I'm going to go get some food. Anyone else hungry, or is it just me?
I could
Ruckus is
actually
like-
use a drink.
Well, you have a selection in front of you.
He reaches over to Stonebreaker's mug. I appreciate it as he kind of pulls it back.
And Ruckus like rips a turkey leg off his mouth. He was like, "I'm hungry."
Go right ahead and keep on eating then. Guada.
Do you mind if I smoke? You're free to join me. There's no pandemic here in Fantasyland.
I'm going to step up to the bar and get some food.
And he's, I am going to retire. I will see you in the morning if you so need my assistance.
Switch yourself.
And he makes his way up the stairs.
She likes some ouzo.
Yes.
You've just been through a lot. How are you feeling about this?
I want to see this through to the end. But part of me wants to end my journey in Porthoria. But the other part of me knows that she would not want me to go back on her promise. And the more I learn, the more I think about my upbringing and her involvement in it, she has been conditioning me for this. I am capable with my sphere because of the lessons she taught me. He's sort of talking and looking straight ahead.
Mm-hmm.
The times where I thought we were playing, she was conditioning me. We would play hide and seek around the city. And every time she would get further and further away, sharpening my skills, and then ask me what part of the city we were in. Almost as if forcing me to navigate a life without her. Conditioning me for this. And then Baga, as he looks down, that voice in my head that has always been there. It's always been you, isn't it, Baga?
You
For that,
you kind of hear like an erp.
now the cat has got your tongue. Okay. Well, your father has given me one of the best friends I've ever known. And for that, I have a promise to you as well, my friend. It is a lot to take in, and I did not intend for all of this when I thought I was dreaming and agreed to it. But we are here now, and we could potentially make the world a more just place with our actions.
It's true.
I'm on board. Remington. Slade Remington. This is a cause worth committing to. As he takes another hefty gulp. It is a lot, but it is not as much as rearing a child. As he looked, did you give him the gifts?
No, I've not seen him. It's already his bedtime, so
This is an occasion to wake him up.
no in the
No?
morning. No, his mother was quite tired. Leave them be for the night.
Okay.
I'm glad to
What-
see that you're excited about it, though. I am both excited and terrified.
I don't know what the feeling of that is like, but I'd imagine that those are natural emotions.
Yeah, he Winifred said that she wants to go with us.
Uzo kind of chokes on his drink a little bit as he was mid gulp. And you told her that this was the safest place for her, right?
Well, no, I would never tell her this is the safest place for her. I don't know what to tell her, Uzo. I don't. I'm very worried. There's a lot of conflicting emotions. I have to go with you. I have to.
That is not.
And it's
Damn
either
it.
I bring them into another world, into possibly hell itself. Do I bring them there?
No,
How can I bring my son into that? 5 years old.
you cannot, Remy, and I will be adamant in saying that you cannot. How about this? The idea and the goal was to spend as much time with them here, but I say that potentially we bring them with us to Candle Keep and then to Waterdeep, which is where we leave them until our safe return. Not to put any more burden on you, but I already feel an immense burden to look after you all, as I'm sure Andraste feels about looking after us. But this
And I'll come back to the table at that point. Yes, watching over you is a full-time job.
Hey,
and
and
this
being a
is
captain is kind of similar. Come on now.
and this is my promise. And I would not want to endanger another life, let alone a child's.
Wait, what are we discussing?
Winifred has expressed a desire not to leave my side.
Very romantic, very admirable.
And?
Entirely impractical.
And I get that, right? Like, hell is no place for a 5-year-old halfling.
And
That's how the old saying goes, anyways.
And we could not leave little Remy somewhere and bring her along. What if something happens? It's the same logic as why we didn't bring her into the mansion where we did almost die. Leave the child an orphan? No.
We leave them set up at your establishment in Waterdeep and with the finest education as we can at the orphanage, where he can grow around other children and make friends and form a community. But I must object to bringing them to Portoria. Waterdeep is where we leave them, Remy.
And if she reacts poorly to that,
then we take more time to get her to understand.
At the very least, if she hates me, she's alive and hates me.
Exactly.
I agree. I think Waterdeep. I think I leave my share of everything to Winifred and Remy. The tavern, the ship, and whatever I may have left in the bank. I don't think I have much. And they live.
And we will come back to see them.
And if we don't, he'll know he met me, and he'll know that I hope he'll know that I tried my best to take care of him. And he'll have, at the very least, these wonderful gifts.
And they won't be in Baldur's Gate anymore. Waterdeep is certainly not the best place in the world, but it's not Baldur's Gate, which is a literal hellscape sometimes. So
True.
If he can be raised in Baldur's Gate, Waterdeep is a walk in the park.
Especially the North Ward.
it's true.
Look at you setting them up already. Is that where you want your family to reside, in the North Ward?
Well, they'll be living at the tavern, so
That's where I wish
the
everyone could
tavern in the
reside,
North?
Uzo.
yes, the tavern's in the North Ward.
Tavern. Okay, shit. That's the clientele we attract. All right.
Exactly. No, I want everyone to live in the North Ward, Uzo.
Except the elves who live in the dock district. No, who's living at your apartment?
That's a good question.
Probably a bunch of people.
Is anyone there anymore? I thought they all left.
Regardless.
Oh, my kin, yes. They're in the loft. We adapted that for them.
Yeah.
Did.
I have a feeling that probably by now, Squeal has taken over and kind of like
I like it.
it's a jam space.
It's already built for someone his size, so.
I imagine the teenagers are living in and around that area, and it's turned into like a set from Rent or something.
Having a kind face in the North Ward might not be so bad.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what to tell her, but we have a week's journey south to Candledeep, and then a journey back to Waterdeep. Candlekeep, and then a journey back to Waterdeep to break the news to her.
And stopping
So
off
you have plenty of time.
and stopping off at Saltmarsh and finishing getting the Phoenix fixed and passing the Chimera over to Emma.
There is time. You're right. Of course. Thank you. Thank you both. Even you, Ruckus.
You haven't anything to thank me for.
Of course. I do.
With that, we're going to take a quick break because it is break time. And let me go to Nightbot. Since I'm setting
Are we
this up.
doing a giveaway?
Give it
Yeah.
Give it away.
We're gonna do a
give it away.
giveaway
Give it
of
away
these-
now.
Perseid dice in the container so they don't look like much. From here, it's great because the light shining through them is really nice. So if you enter hashtag chaos into the chat, we'll do that drawing when we get back here after
doing
we
it.
use the restroom.
Doing it right now.
And I need to go over here to the B right
Hashtag chaos in the
backside.
chat. Good.
All right, be sure to clip anything you found. There's not a lot hilarious tonight. So
Very deep tonight.
anyway, yeah. So we're gonna do
Hashtag
that.
Hashtag chaos.
Hashtag chaos.
Hashtag chaos.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Quest and Chaos. We're the Chaos Agents, and we have 2 winners of these Perseid dice. You know who likes baggies, drug dealers, and dice fiends?
Sometimes they're one and the same. Where's that Venn diagram? Who's in the center?
Yeah.
I mean, you could
Tiny
argue
baggies.
that dice sellers are a kind of drug dealer.
Yeah. So congratulations, the Dead Boy 42 and You Will Never Know for winning those 2 sets of dice. I don't know if it was at Gamma or if it was somewhere else, but I actually did hear the story of there was a customs shipment meant for board game people, and it was confiscated because it was full of nothing but tiny baggies that, you know, fit all the little meeples and all the other little bits and pieces for board games. And they're like, clearly, you're bringing this many little baggies in, you're a drug dealer.
Well, let me explain to you about board games.
So congratulations, you 2. Perhaps Alpha Pup is still up can whisper you. Otherwise, whisper this. I know that I have one of your addresses, or at least a address, but whisper us. So, all right. So you guys are still down at the tavern after getting a bit of information about what happened and what is going on. And nobody made a history check. So, role play.
Nobody made history.
Bo and I do it at almost exactly the same time. Oh, well, and I'm gonna like settle in to eat my food.
So I guess it's to the library.
Candlekeep.
Candlekeep. Yes, that's right. We need to figure out transportation first. You see, the Chimera's on loan. And
That's true.
Emma's here to find a crew. We could talk and maybe arrange something. I don't know, but something to think about.
I mean, she's about to come into possession of a ship without having done a great deal in order to get it. I suspect that assisting us get information for our quest. Thomas is making all kinds of faces over there.
Well, I think I'm about to move the placement of Candlekeep to be much closer to Baldur's Gate than it is in the map.
I mean, yeah, it's like a 10-day journey on foot, if I remember right, from Descent into Avernus.
Just according to the first Bing result. I'm kidding. I use Google. Who uses Bing? But if you sponsor us, we will only use Bing. The distance is something like 500 miles and takes about a month to cover the distance.
That can't be right. It didn't take us that long.
That must be from somewhere else. No, Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep. No, wait, what?
500
Baldur's
over
Gate
land.
to Waterdeep.
So this is a bunch of. Maybe I should use Bing.
Anyway,
I think it's a 10-day.
Sure, a 10-day works. I imagine that we could talk to her and work something out. She's a reasonable sort, and I mean this will aid us greatly.
Yes, but at the same time, I imagine that our first stop is probably going back to
Saltmarsh.
Saltmarsh, yes. I don't know. We'll have to speak with Emma.
So it would be, what, 7 days back to Saltmarsh, and then 2 10-day down to Candlekeep from there?
I don't know, but at the very least, Emma is planning to go back to Saltmarsh. That's probably what we were doing too. Or was the Phoenix to meet us here? I don't think so.
No, we were going back to Saltmarsh because, I mean, the Phoenix is going to take, and this is the other problem, the Phoenix is going to take some time to fix. And based on what they were saying, I don't know if it's going to be ready by the time that we get back, which means that we would have to wait in Saltmarsh.
To Candle Keep. She can wait for her ship.
The Chimera.
Yes. It will be all hers once we get to Saltmarsh.
And what will happen to the Phoenix in the meantime?
The Phoenix will still be in Saltmarsh being fixed.
We will
Real
wait
quick,
there for
Thomas. I thought it needed dry dock to fix.
Is in normal circumstances, yes, but you have Dalid up there, who is capable of doing amazing things. So,
motor on it. Watch.
so what? When you left, you got the impression that by the time you got back, it would be fixed.
Okay. I think Saltmarsh is our first destination then.
I mean, maybe. It just seems like an awful lot of back and forth if we don't absolutely have to.
That's fair. I mean, if Emma can delay a bit and we're here close enough, absolutely.
Exactly.
Good to consider.
Well, and yes, I think it would be wise to talk to her about it and see if we can get her to be willing to go with us to Candlekeep, or even stay here and continue her search for crew members as she wishes, and then see what happens from there. If she is completely unwilling to help us, then so be it. But she's very helpful.
Do you think there are fewer days ahead
I'm sorry?
than behind Andraste?
Do I think there are fewer days ahead than behind?
Yes.
Do you mean in general life, or
No.
on our quest?
In our lives at this moment. Where's your head? Are we going to our deaths, facing gods and the like?
I think that there is risk, and I think that there is danger, and it is possible that we are going to our deaths. But I do not think that it is a settled certainty. I think that too many things have arranged for us, and as long as we don't completely muff it up, we have an inordinate amount of power behind us and with us.
And we have Ruckus.
Exactly. I have already mentally started making plans to look in on little Remy and as he grows, and watch him become a father and check in on his children and grandchildren and probably great grandchildren, depending.
That means a great deal to me, Andraste. Thank you. Thank you.
He is a very sweet child, and he is yours. I watch out for my family.
I only hope that your optimism wins the day out.
I worship the goddess of joy, my friend. And joy is found in all sorts of circumstances. And joy is the one light that I have to hold up against fear, because I am afraid. This is bigger than anything I ever thought I would be part of. But we have met every challenge thus far and overcome it.
Sometimes by the very skin of our teeth.
But we did regardless. And it cost us. Absolutely. It changed us. Certainly. You cannot be in the sorts of world-changing events that we have been without it changing you. And I just reach up and like touch the little white strands in my hair. But we have won through. And I believe that we will continue to win through.
Good. And I'm sure Ruckus agrees.
In as much as he can be convinced to take his head out of his trencher, yes.
I hear you.
I know.
Across the bar.
I know you do. You were meant to.
Well, we have this small little break. We have 500 bits from Tamago Tora for the roleplay. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Woohoo.
I was going to
so
ask to dispel the octopeers, but I didn't put it on during the fight. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't?
Mm-mm.
Ruckus did, however, so he will need.
Oh, God. Do I have that prepared?
Just sleep in it, Ruckus.
Yes, I do. No, we are not giving him a level of exhaustion, sir.
You can always travel the streets of Baldur's Gate at night to go get an octopus.
I mean, people could certainly try to set upon us. That would be entertaining, briefly.
I think before we sat down to sleep, I'm not sure. Do we have arrangements here, Remy?
We do, I believe. We bought, 3 days, was it?
I think
Yeah.
so.
We, in the interest of giving Emma her boat back quicker, we shouldn't dally in Baldur's Gate. We should make for the Chimera and head to Candlekeep, probably in the morning or sometime tomorrow.
Well, we've only been here a short time. I don't know if that was enough for Emma to get a cruise, so let's speak with her and go from there. But I agree. If we can, we should.
Did we make any arrangements to meet with Emma anywhere, or should I reach out with a sending?
It's probably best.
See where she is.
All right.
Message.
I'm just like cast sending in order to get a message to her. We are wrapping up our business in Baldur's Gate. Want to check in with you and see how your progress is going. That's 22 words.
Hey, the whiskey's is awesome. Who is this? We're fine here. Everything's good. How are you?
Boring conversation anyway.
Totally important conversation. Why not? We're about to go take a long rest. I'll send again and say, this is Andraste. What bar are you in?
Tell her where we are.
Yes. What bar are you in? We are in. Fuck. What is the name of the tavern here?
Barkeep. What's the name of the tavern?
Wait. It is
the Smiling Boar.
That's the one.
What tavern are you in? We are in the Smiling Bowl.
And send a smiley face emoji.
what?
I'm on the Chimera, drinking the new crew under.
Do we hear
And
this?
No,
if you could, you would hear like
right. Emma's on the Chimera. She's probably going to be hungover in the morning because she's drinking the rest of the crew under.
Don't doubt the stoutness of us hobbits,
not-
halflings.
you're
We're
not
not
a
hobbits.
halfling.
That's lovely. Don't doubt the stoutness of us halflings.
I never do. However,
Small but steady.
certainly. Anyway, she's on the Chimera. We can touch base with her in the morning.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm gonna head to my room, but yes, I probably will be up for a while before I rest my head. I'm going to recall my eight-legged friend back to see if we might need him on this journey.
I was going to do the same for Winthorpe. In a bit.
All right. So are you guys going to cast Find Familiar tonight?
I am.
Yes.
And you have the required spell components?
Yeah, actually, I had another 80 gold worth, so I will go down to 70 gold worth.
I remember having for 2 and only using 1, but I don't know where in my notes that is.
If you need one, man, I'll give you what you need. Not a problem.
Thank you.
Oh,
As he opens up his like jar full of incense, that's just like here's just like that much for
There you
me.
yeah.
Oh, don't forget these.
All right. So with that, you guys cast Find Familiar. You head up to bed. Warren, you can turn your microphone up just a little bit.
Up before
Somewhere
down.
in the middle.
No, up. Is this
Went
better?
too far. Oh, hold on. Talk.
Hello. Hi. Gain.
Perfect.
Going up. Okay, is that
Too
good?
much? Yeah.
I need to
okay.
project, or I'm doing a
Don't
mixture of
project.
both.
Don't project,
don't
please.
project. You're good to
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
I'm gonna.
So
He's gonna
you
build
guys
a
go-
web around the door and then keep me safe. Notify me.
you're using charges from the wand?
No. So he's gonna build a trigger on the door to sort of like notify me. The
Like a
spider
manual.
Right. Web. Yes.
Not the alarm spell.
Nope.
But okay. Do you have string on your character sheet?
He's gonna use the thread of his own web.
Spider.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, when they go up to do their Find Familiar stuff, I'm going to stay down in the common room for a bit longer, finishing my dinner, getting a little bit far into my cups before going upstairs and collapsing.
And Ruckus has been surprisingly quiet and retrospective through this whole enterprise.
Retrospective or introspective?
Yeah, well, a
Yes.
little bit of both.
How quickly he went back on his word to not kill anybody. That's what he's thinking
Is that?
It's quintessential ruckus is what it is.
about.
And I love it.
So when we first started Solari, my character was not going to use magic and not do anything. And almost immediately we were like, Alan had a bandit knock my hat off. I was like, firebolt.
To his face.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
you
like,
don't mess with Sebastian's hats. That's the rule.
Yeah. Or be a bandit. Those two things. Those two things combined. That was. I think he made the campaign difficult for Alan. Oops.
Oh.
All right. So eventually you guys wake up in the morning,
Long rest.
refreshed, long rest.
Yay!
I spent a little time with Winthorpe before going to bed, just talking to him, welcoming him back and, playing with him a bit.
All right. Uzo, do you say hi to your spider?
Yeah, I wake up with the spider like resting on my face and say, "This is not what I meant as keeping watch." But thank you for that. I put him on the other shoulder, and he just kind of crawls into sort of like a shelf, like a little nook.
All right.
I'm up
And
and I'm
then-
downstairs.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys are downstairs. There are a number of patrons. The breakfast is out. It smells delicious. It's amazing. Anything you want to do here?
Wait for Winifred.
All right. So eventually you do see Winifred coming down with Remy in tow.
I slap Uzo's knee. Hey.
What?
And I point to Remy. Might be a good time coming up. Could be a good opportunity. Hi, Winifred.
Oh, hi. And she skips over a little bit. You see her step. Remy is like, and follows up. Hey,
Hello.
what's on? What's? You guys are up. That's good.
Yeah. Would you like to breakfast with us?
I will when I get back. I gotta take Remy to the tutor.
Oh. Okay. Yes. We're about to make the tutor's life very hard. We got him some gifts. I mentioned it last night. Do you think it'd be a good time?
Yes.
We could.
Yeah, yes. Now would be great.
Right.
And you know, kind of Remy's like, somebody say gifts?
Hello.
Hello there,
Hi.
little Remy. We got you some gifts. My friends here and I. We noticed you had a sword, but thought that something could go along well with that. Every adventurer needs some good armor, and Uzo here has provided you with just that. As I step aside and point up towards Uzo.
Da-dan!
Me. So this gift is from both of us to you, and we thought that you could get started being a skilled warrior, probably even better than your father. And this will set you in the right direction. Where is it? Is it like I didn't have it on me? Where is it in the bag?
So I offered to put it in the bag, and you had objections to that, but I am perfectly happy with it having been put into the bag at some point.
I think at this point you guys all just for some reason blanked on it, and you look over and there's a table that actually has all of the puppets like sitting around it.
That's not creepy at all.
And Ruckus is there, and like he's like handing tea out to them.
Probably
Oh,
saying something to them.
We do need to go back up to the wide to get the ones that we had specially customized for us.
It's true.
Yes, we do. There. As Uncle Ruckus is already playing with. That table is all yours.
What?
I'm watching Winifred's face.
It's like, I mean, it's mostly just looking at Ruckus and like, I don't want
He's
that.
fine. It's
guy.
fine. He's fine. He's fine. Trust me, he's fine.
Come, let's go play with Ruckus. And I put my hand out to bring him over to the table.
And so he goes over there and pulls out his little wooden sword after seeing the older Raven Guard puppet with the armor. He's like, it's got armor. And he's like,
That's on. And Uzo kind of takes the armor off the doll and then sort of puts it on little Remy.
There we go.
Oh, look.
okay.
Perfect fit.
Give me a dexterity check.
Me?
puppet armor doesn't.
I would be
just
sitting
come
there
off.
helping as well if I can help.
Okay, so you have advantage on this dexterity check, Uzo, as you're taking the armor off of a puppet and putting it onto a halfling child.
Does it
12.
strap? Does it strap?
Yeah,
Does
what
it have
kind of armor?
buckles?
It's like string more than anything, just connected. It's not armor for a person. It is metal that goes on a puppet.
A D6 for this? For the 12?
You know what? Sure.
Yeah. 16.
All right. 16. It takes you a little bit longer.
I got it.
Because you're ready for the straps. You're like, oh, these are like knots, and you have to like
just
bite
like
it
a
little
bro.
bit.
No, Uzo, you have to. No, this way. Come here. That's me.
Straps. I know what I'm doing, Remy.
But yeah, so I mean, it takes you at least 15 minutes. But and Remy is kind of struggling a little bit. You're getting it on, but you get it on the front and back connected. You are sweating.
You see, easy.
And I'm sitting back at the table, still eating breakfast and just watching this. Breakfast and a show.
It's like a glove.
And
Let's see how you do with the sword. And he soft tosses him the wooden sword. Now, show Uncle Ruckus what you've got.
So at this point, he kind of has like the long flamberge and his short sword type of things.
Well,
Dual
I don't know if
wielder.
we've given him the flamberge yet, right?
I don't think so.
I think that's all. That's all Aaron Ruckus got was the two flamberges.
That's right. Oh, right. I thought you meant Remy, little Remy, wielding the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tossed him one, right? Yeah. Just now. Yeah.
He had one. You tossed him a flamberge. Yes.
Ah, okay, got it. So, yeah, so he gets that, and we say, we noticed your sword. Well, it's very good. This one here is a flamberge, which makes it awesome.
He's like, whoa, and he drops the other one and like grabs it. You can use it with two hands.
Yeah.
You can't. I bet you do more damage this way.
Look at that.
That works.
Chip off the old block, this one.
Then he starts playing with it, and it is 10 minutes before you see the weight of the metal just sort of start to get too much. And he's like, and just is like top heavy on the ground, like, oh.
Okay, yes.
So...
Playtime's over. Come over and I try and undo the knots and take it off of him.
What? Let him gather his strength.
You have done well today, Sir Knight.
Oh. I will do better tomorrow.
That's right. You will gain your strength and you'll be able to wear your armor whenever you need to, for as long as you need to. Just like Uncle Ruckus.
And he looked over and he's just like, porridge. Just, uh-huh.
I don't know if he's in his armor right now or if he's in his like shirt and boxers. I don't know.
Yeah, boxers. Bag is, scrambling at his hip.
Yep.
And as you gesture over to Uncle Ruckus, who's in his boxers, and there's a taxidermy head on his pack, and little Remy's like, "Oh my God, is that a puppet too?"
Yes.
And Ruckus is like, "Yes." And does that a little bit.
I'm gonna glance over at Winifred at this point and just like try to get a read on how she's doing with all of this.
I'm also looking back and going, he's fine. Trust me, he's fine.
It is definitely, I am disappointed in your friends look that I'm sure many people have seen before. Friends with these people? Okay. And eventually, it's fun. It's joyous. And eventually, Winifred does say, okay,
one more, if that's all right. And Remy, there is something else also that I want you to have. As I come down to his level on one knee. Every good adventurer with their salt has a fantastic hat. As I take off my tricorn hat that I've had this whole time, and I put it on his head, which is, too small, and it kind of comes over him. Yeah, that's right. There you are.
With the singed feathers from when Andraste burned them.
That's right.
Oh, that you're not leaving, are you?
No. We're here for the time being, but
Funny story.
every good adventurer needs that hat. We're not, young Remy.
Yeah. And he just keeps like lifting it up over his eyes, and then it drops down. Oh, it's like, and he tilts it back.
Oh.
It's like
This hat
whoa.
would be very useful on the open seas.
It is.
Whoa! Is this a captain's hat?
Well, it actually is a captain's hat. It's my hat, and I am a captain, so therefore.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm glad you think so.
And he pulls the flamberge and just goes, "Have at me."
Well, very quick on the draw there. You have to be careful around this one. Uzo, he almost got you. I saw it.
He needs to look out behind him. And then Uzo is holding on to his amulet, and he casts a minor illusion of like a ghostly skeleton just at the ready in front of the child. His size.
He turns around and just freaks out and like rolls under the table, like through your legs, like you've sort of seen before, and he pops up on the like the bench against the wall, and there's somebody's got to get that. Somebody's got to get that, Mom.
You've got to get it right now. It's after us, and you must save us, young Remy. Quick, use the flamberge.
And he throws the flamberge at it.
Yes.
And if he nails it, I drop the illusion instantly.
Yeah. So it flies through hilt first into the illusion. You drop the illusion, and it clangs unbroken across the way.
And I go, and thus young Remy vanquished the horrid skeleton sent from hell, and saved his family and friends.
And at that point, Ruckus is just like, "Where did it go? Where did it go?"
And I go and I grab the sword, and I go up to him and I say, your sword, Sir Knight.
And he hugs you. He like jumps off the bench and hugs you.
And I kind of look past. Who am I looking at that point in the room?
So you would be looking at the wall, but you could like kind of turn and look at anyone you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of sit there for a moment and put the hug around him, and then kind of like try and look around for someone, catch someone's eyes to be like,
Whoever wants to catch that gaze can see it.
Yeah, I'm sitting over at the table. I would be watching this and like catch his eyes and just smile a little and nod.
Very nice, Remy. Young Remy. You saved your cowardly father. I think there might be need of your services in the future. Keep practicing.
We're going to talk about, misinformation later. I promise. We're going to have a talk about it. It's enough difference. That right there. Utter bullshit.
Ooh.
Only the parents get to talk like that. Only adults get to speak that way.
But yeah, so Winifred comes over. He's like, okay, playtime's over. We're gonna. It's only a couple hours, so
Sorry,
You
thank you.
got to learn your common. And she takes him off. We'll be back in like 10 minutes. And she exits the door and like holds the door open for little Remy, and then looks back at you and smiles.
I smile back at her and just kind of beam with my eyes.
And they go out the door.
We
Oh
have
my
to.
God. I'm a father. I'm a father.
Yes,
Thank
you are,
you.
Remy.
Thank you all. We should find me a new hat at some point.
Well, we have to go to the market to pick up the goods that we had custom made and then put them on the ship. It's going to be interesting watching you untie the knot of getting them out of Baldur's Gate. I was hoping you would do that this morning, but I guess we have some time.
And they were in rather a rush. There wasn't time to have a good conversation about leaving Baldur's Gate.
So I was about to say something, but I forgot.
So she said she'd be back in 10 minutes. I mean, we can have this conversation.
Let's finish eating breakfast and chat with her when she gets back. There's time to go to the wide. It'll be open for hours.
There is a large, ostentatious hat in, I think, the bag of holding that you got last time you went to the wide.
Yes, there is.
So-
That'll do for now. While we go to the if we go back to the wide, I'll put that on. In the meantime, I'll just try and stand behind Uzo. Keep the sun out of my eyes.
Well,
So
for the
you,
moment,
so
we're indoors, so I think you'll be fine.
10 minutes goes by and Winifred comes back. Then she heads right over to you guys and goes like, so what's the plan? What are you guys doing?
Uzo drinks his cup and he like keeps over and he like looks side to side over his mouth while he just sort of drinks, not wanting to listen, but like not involve himself. Yeah.
Well, Winnie, we are to leave Baldur's Gate. We have to go back to Saltmarsh, and before that, we have to visit the library at Candlekeep. Then we are to make for Waterdeep. And
Do you have a book to get into Candlekeep? You know you.
Yes,
need
I have a book that was fairly recently published in Waterdeep. I don't know if it would have gotten there yet. And if not, well, Uzo has a handwritten one that I imagine will do.
Will do. This is the best book you've ever read in your life. This book will win awards.
Oh, right. Well, first off, I'm over 100 years old and have read a lot of books, so
it definitely lives up to that puffery, that's for sure.
Right.
It's a good book. As he goes back to drinking, it's a good book.
So when so Candlekeep is inland. I've been through there. We on our way up here.
What do you think of it?
I didn't go in. We went past. Bookish.
Yeah, I feel that. God,
Why are you going there?
I just pointed Uzo.
We need to understand what we are getting involved with the next leg of our adventure. And Candlekeep is basically the realm's information super center.
So, Salt Marsh. I don't know where that is. That doesn't sound great.
It's actually not that bad. It's a rather nice little seaside town. They have a new resort in.
All right, and then Waterdeep.
And then
Yeah.
Waterdeep, where we own a tavern, the regular tavern.
Yeah.
In the North Ward.
Oh, fancy.
I mean,
I've not been to Waterdeep. I don't know if it is or not.
Yeah.
It's supposed to sound fancy. So
Yes. Yes.
But
People wouldn't say it's in the docks if
that's right.
they would just say I own a tavern.
It's the truth. But after Waterdeep, we make for another world, actually, as it turns out.
Uzo puts his hand on Remy's shoulder, and kind of looks him in the eye and does Awaken Mind and just sort of says to his head, like, I don't know that we should break that news to her now. Let's just get everyone to Waterdeep. But again, I don't want to keep secrets from your...
I can't respond, right?
No. So you just look at us deeply in the eye. We're just like...
the two of you are just like looking at each other, taking a moment here, and she's just like,
it's
okay.
And there's a lot to tell. There's a long journey. We still have to go back to Saltmarsh and then to Waterdeep. We can explain it all to you, but the point is that I'd like you to come with me. I'd like you both to come with me, and we can talk about it then.
Yeah.
I'd like to spend as much time as I can with you and with Remy.
On a ship?
You know me.
Okay, yeah. Is it a big ship?
It's decent. I mean, it's not your biggest of ships, but it gets the job done. It's plenty fast and has a lot of heart. We took out a ship that was much bigger than us, only just, but we did take it out.
Uzo coughs through the drink. It's not the size of the ship that matters.
It's how many guns it has. It's true.
That's how many wizards are on board, or like clerics.
Truth.
Yeah. When are you going?
Well, we still have to discuss it, but I think first we make for the library, and then go from there. If it's inland, it makes the most sense.
I believe Candlekeep is south of here, is it not?
Yeah, it's about a 10-day journey.
Are we not going by water? Are we on foot?
If it's inland, there's no...
Yeah, it's...
Right?
I mean, it is south. It is along... Well, it's not on the coast. I mean, I suppose you could... There's a road that goes there from here. I don't know if there's a road that goes there from the ocean.
Some kind of port.
No. I think the ocean is that it is hospitable.
I don't know that I want to travel on the roads outside of Baldur's Gate, given the state of the city.
We may be able to anchor offshore and then take a dinghy in. We've done that before.
Depends if there's a port town nearby.
If there's a port town, we can go that way, or we can anchor out at sea, depending.
So looking at the map that you have, You think that you would save a couple of days if you did travel along the coast by ship, take a dinghy, beach a dinghy, and then go in a couple days?
That's good to know because the Candlekeep that I'm familiar with is right on the coast. So I'm trying to put this in my head.
That's funny. I didn't think that it was right on the coast.
Also, 10 days inland means 10 days back. If we bring the ship with us, we can just leave from there.
There's a stupid video game called Candlekeep.
It's like this built-up edifice that's right on a cliff that looks out at the ocean.
All right, then it's right on the ocean.
I was gonna. God damn it.
Clicking Bing, dear Bing.
I mean, you can look up Candlekeep, Descent into Avernus. There's a really good map that pops up.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's right on. Yeah. Okay, it's
right
like
on the ocean.
3 days by ship. You can dock there. There's docks. It's perfect.
Well, then, yeah, we'll go by ship because that's the thing I know, and then we'll go from there to Saltmarsh.
And it'll be 3 days there, 3 days back to Baldur's Gate, no problem. Hopefully.
Or straight from there to Saltmarsh.
Sure.
We do have to go see about a couple of puppets, though. These are important.
Okay. When are you leaving?
We were talking about leaving tomorrow, I think. Soon.
Is that something that you could do?
Tomorrow, yeah. Yeah, tomorrow.
And Remy, he'll be okay going on a ship with us.
Yeah. He will. You know he will. You just saw him.
I did indeed. Well, then it's settled, yeah?
Yeah, I've got some things to take care of.
Can I help at all?
Yeah, I need to write some letters. So if you want to write one while I write one.
Sure. May I ask the nature? Is that all right? Or we can do it in private. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's on the docket then, team? What do we think?
Well, we need to reconnect with Emma and discuss with her because we're not going anywhere without the Chimera, or at least not by sea. And we need to go up to the Wide in order to pick up the puppets. And I was under the impression you wanted a new hat from there, but if you're here, then I'm not going to pick a hat out for you.
I mean, I'd like to pick out a hat. What?
We can wait while if Andraste, if you can ask them to have the ship ready to pick us up here by tomorrow, then today after you send your letters, we can go and retrieve all the gear and just sort of take another day to rest here, and then set out first thing.
We still need to discuss with Emma whether or not she's even willing to help us.
I mean,
we haven't sorted that part out.
It's still technically our ship, right?
Not the Chimera.
You guys did get the impression that that they were there to help you.
Okay.
More than anything.
All right. I mean, I can check in with Emma via sending if I need to. I'd also like to talk to her face to face if we can, but
no, we should. Let's go chat with her. Head up to the second level. What was that place called again?
The Upper City. The Wide.
Head out to the Wide. Maybe see if they have any magical goods shops that might have boots of speed.
I think you should drop it in this search of speed boots, Remy. It's
Oh,
only gotten
no.
us into trouble, this greed of yours.
You know what? I didn't go to the most reputable, that's for sure. And that's on me for sure. But, you know, if they did have boots of speed, no one would catch me.
So we're going to fast forward a little bit. You guys go to the wide. You get your puppets. You find a fabulous hat. You can describe it in the Discord. You,
Because Thomas does not
Remy-
want this to turn into shopping episode 2.0.
Remy, you help Winifred write up basically some letters, just sending out to people that she knows that she is leaving the Smiling Boar and will eventually make her way to Waterdeep. And you, at that point, tell her the Irregular Tavern is where...
Tell them the Irregular Tavern.
So that they can find her if they need her at the Irregular Tavern. And, you know, she sends a number of letters. You see to different organizations. One of them is the that section of town, the crew that runs there, and then there's one that she doesn't let you get near, and kind of writes it out. If you want to give me a perception check, as it's kind of going.
If Winthorpe is around here and I'm kind of trying to take a look, I might have him kind of fly up and do a quick.
Okay, so Winthorpe can make that perception check.
Inside a place?
No,
Yeah,
wait, is that how it works? I keep forgetting this.
What do you
Does
mean?
Winthorpe make the perception
Yes.
check?
Yeah, he makes it. He gets it with advantage.
But does Winthorpe read common?
I'm looking through it. So
you would make the check, but you wouldn't be advantage. You would not be advantage.
No. Per the rules, Winthorpe's abilities are what's used for that check. If I look through him, I then use his perception.
Okay.
You
I
really
don't like it, but okay.
You really just don't want this check to succeed, I can tell.
No. I just want to know the rules because I like living by the rules.
Yeah,
is this
no,
the
I feel you. I'm
equivalent?
not here to cheat.
Is this the equivalent of going through your girlfriend's phone? Is that what you're doing right now?
Oh no!
Yeah. She basically said, "Here, look at this photo," and then you went, "Oh yeah, what else is on here?"
We'll see. We'll see what I see. All right, let me do the perception. Let me go to extras. Line familiar. Okay, so the first one was 18, and the second one, excuse me, clear that, and the second one is less.
All right.
Just like potentially going through your partner's phone, you're gonna probably see some shit you didn't want to see. I'm calling that now.
So this letter is almost exactly the same. It's made out to an individual. I can give you that later. But at the very end, you see by the signature, she draws a little harp.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen that symbol before on Uzo.
Right.
And then she gets that one with wax before you get to it.
Eyes back to normal.
Kind of saw it. Yeah.
All right, good to go.
Yep. And you guys get back to Emma. She has finished with the crew. Has hired a full crew. Basically ready to go whenever you guys are.
And we'll discuss with her about going to Candlekeep before going back to Saltmarsh.
She is at your service.
And I'll say to her, did you vet these crew to make sure they're not devils in disguise?
No, but I drank him under the table.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh goodness, and I'll just look at Remy and be like, "Do you want me to check?"
Always a good idea these days, Fool me once.
Yeah, fair enough. And so I'll if the crew are collected on the ship, I will cast Detect Evil and Good and just walk from one side of the ship to the other very casually, just checking to make sure there are the casual walk.
Very casual walk.
I keep forgetting that you actually watch these things while we're fucking around in Icefire Peak.
So I do want to mention this just because it's important that I assume we talked to Emma last night. She brought the boat in from the flotilla where it was this time.
Yes. It's docked. You walk out on the dock. Everything is hand waved. And little Remy comes back, super excited to go on an adventure. Everything is packed up. There's a nighttime that transpires. Lots of drinking, lots of good times. The morning comes. Everything's packed up. It is an emotional goodbye between Winifred and the barkeep and a number of the crew members that have come to say goodbye. And you guys make your way to the ship and set sail for Candle.
On the way to
with my boots of speed.
There are no boots of speed anywhere to be found.
Talks to Remy, just kind of like a passive. So, what do you mean we should clear it with Emma for what we did back in Waterdeep? They should be kissing our ass. I understand.
You mean Saltmarsh?
Saltmarsh, yeah. What we did for them in Saltmarsh, this Candlekeep is a given. That's his stance.
No. Yeah, well, Uzo, it's not nice to assume, you know what I mean? Just trying to be respectful is all of other people in their time. But I agree with you. We have done them a great service, and I'm glad that they agree with that.
He's just griping out loud. Sorry.
And I'll come back around to them after checking the ship for evil and good. Anything interesting?
No, nothing interesting.
Aberrations, Fae, fiends, undead.
You notice that most of the crew seems to be of the mid experience level.
Cool.
You get one or two. Clearly, this is going to be their first excursion. Mostly some experience, and then you see that there are a couple of clearly veteran sailors.
Nice.
No undead, no fae, no
fiends.
Devils. Yeah, no
Cool.
fiends, no undead.
And I'll circle back around to the guys and report that as I let the spell drop.
Excellent. Can never be too careful.
I mean, after what happened in Waterdeep with everything, I agree. That was a mess. Anyway.
It's time to get underway.
Yeah. You guys set sail, and then we cut to Ruckus sitting at the Smiling Boar. By himself. Remember that time where that guy brought us knives?
I brought him with us. I dragged him by the collar. He's with us.
Brought him with us. Come on.
And also stuffed the boxes of puppets below deck, just in a secure place.
Nice.
Including our custom ones. Yes.
No. My custom one is hanging in my cabin and will stay there until I get to the Phoenix where I can hang it in my own cabin.
All right. That is going to wrap it up for this episode of Chaos Agents. We're done with Baldur's Gate. It's over. On to Candlekeep. And on to the next adventure.
On to Candlekeep, where we'll be for the remainder of 2020.
You will just lose Andraste in the stacks of books. She's just gone.
So, I mean, it's. I find it funny that you guys have not been to a library.
Yeah.
And that was an opportunity where an NPC who would know that you've never been to a library, or at least probably haven't, to say that.
Thomas.
I didn't mean go to this library that's right down here.
Well,
Thomas, what do you
Uzo's
think-
bedroom is like he's never been to a library, but he with all those books, he like it's a makeshift library. Like he doesn't. It's like kind of what he doesn't. Yeah. Anyway,
What do you think?
unintentional.
What do you think
Shimmering?
this is? Call of Cthulhu?
Yeah.
It's
But
not.
at the very least, we are fixing one thing. You will no longer be able to say we've never been to a library.
We will go to the
Aren't
greatest
you
damn
happy?
library on Terrell.
Aren't you glad you threw that out there? Yeah.
Now I got to read up on what the hell is Candlekeep. All right.
Oh, Candlekeep is fun.
Gotta make it worth our while. Oh.
I feel like we're just gonna beeline to the library. We're not gonna go to the bathhouse. We're not gonna talk to merchants and magic shops. Are
Candlekeep
we?
is almost entirely the library. Like there's some other
Okay.
things, but it's the library.
All my boots of speed. All right.
Cursed boots of minus speed. I like it. Coming at you. You have 20 feet of movement.
15. Be more accurate.
All right. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. Thank you for the bits. I'm going to say that there's 4 left over.
Or from
Then
us.
there's going to be 7 going into the boy.
Thank
I
you
need
guys for the
to
bits.
things get out of hand. 7 into the boy. There were 10. That's 17.
We had 8. We
We
only
had
used
8.
3.
We had 8, so 4 go from us, and then some
Yep.
from Thomas.
3 for me.
Yep.
So,
So
7.
so
So 7 going to
17.
the boy. There's
So it's
currently 17.
technically 17 plus whatever last night had.
Oh.
And I don't
I
know
think
the
there were
answer to that.
No, I think there were 2. 2 from us anyway.
That's right. It was very 2. So 19 total in the boy. I will update the graphics for that because they're probably all wrong, which means we'll see what happens on Call of Cthulhu. You guys, thank you for the bits. That helps us go here. Anything left over, we put to a giveaway. Hopefully, it doesn't cost us too much, but we try and find stuff that is worthwhile. And so right now, I believe we're going to be on a Nord Games deck of your choice kick. We've gone through almost all of the luck decks and the critical hit decks, so we can order them right on the Nord Games site and set them out. So that's what we're going to be doing for a little while. On that, probably throw a mug in there every once in a while just to discuss. All right.
Hashtag
We are on
mug.
Patreon. We are on YouTube. What do you
Join the
guys have to say?
Discord.
Yes.
Come hang out.
Okay. There's a button here somewhere that I gotta hit.
Good night, guys.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you Saturday. Oh, sorry. One last thing. There's a board game playthrough going up tomorrow.
Ooh.
Maybe tonight. Probably live tomorrow. Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion.
Neat.
So Amy and I are playing that in quarantine. So that'll be up tomorrow. Thank you. And we'll see you.
Night, guys.